All right, Mrs. Stewart again with another video on the documents. Today we're going to be talking about the Articles of Confederation. And the Articles of Confederation was our first form of government. After we declared our independence from Great Britain, we wrote the Articles of Confederation to establish the structure and power of our government. The Articles maintained that major powers resided with individual states. So there was no executive branch to unify the states. There was not even a judicial branch to settle any type of disagreements between the states either. So it also basically, like, what ended up happening was, like, the states, if they didn't want to do something that the federal government said, they just didn't do it because nobody was forcing them to do it. There was no one to enforce what the laws that were made up, and there was no one to interpret the laws either. So the states would just be like, yeah, I don't feel like doing that. You need men to fight this battle? Yeah, sorry, not going to happen. You need money to pay for, pay the French back for the Revolutionary War? Yeah, I don't got money either. I just don't want to give you money. So that was a big issue, and I'm sure you can imagine why the states having all the power was a big issue. And basically, that created this weak central government that could not enforce laws or raise taxes, raise money to pay back our debts from the war. And this was a big issue because, one, right after we went through our revolution, the French started going through their revolution and they wanted their money back. And we didn't have the power to do that. So and things weren't going too well for us either with England again. And so we needed to make sure that we kept ourselves in the good graces of our allies that we established. And paying them back for war debts was keeping ourselves in good graces, right? So we knew that we needed the money. We knew that we needed an executive branch to enforce the laws. We needed a judicial branch to interpret the laws. And we needed to really bring our states together so that way they weren't basically off and doing their own thing, right? So these issues led directly to the writing of the Constitution. And basically what they did was they didn't actually tear it up. So metaphorically, they tore up the Articles of Confederation and started over again by writing the Constitution. So here we have a political cartoon. The ship is depicting the Articles of Confederation. And then we have some waves that represent the issues with the articles. And it says no national court system, no power to enforce treaties, no power to raise an army, no power to collect taxes. So what's going to happen, do you think, with all these waves crashing down on the ships? What's going to happen to the Articles of Confederation? It's going to sink, right? Okay. We have another political cartoon. We've got this gentleman here who is supposed to be the United States. And then he's in crutches. One of his crutches broke. These are supposed to represent the Articles of Confederation. We got a can of useless money because all of the states had different forms of money, which was an issue because think about when we go overseas. Does our money work in Canada? Does our money work in Mexico? Does our money work in Great Britain? No, it doesn't. And it doesn't even, it's not even the same amount. So it doesn't equate to the same thing. So that was an issue, I'm sure you can imagine, especially think about it here. We live right on the Virginia-North Carolina border. So if you were to earn money mowing lawns or babysitting, and you were to take your Virginia money and go to a store in North Carolina, it's most likely that a store in North Carolina under this particular type of government, the Articles of Confederation, would not accept your money because it doesn't mean anything to them because your money is from Virginia. Or they might accept it, but they're not going to offer you what it's worth. So maybe in Virginia, your money could buy you a week's supply of food, but in North Carolina, it's only worth a day's supply. Okay, so that was a pretty significant issue that was facing our young nation was that they each had their own money, their own form of money. And then the young nation is saying, I have so many troubles. I'm weak, poor, and in debt. My paper money is useless. The Article of Confederation do not support me. And so the fact that the crutches broke just goes to show that the Articles of Confederation cannot support our young nation. All right, so quick quiz. What document established the first structure of our government? Yep, you're right, the Articles of Confederation. What were the weaknesses of the Articles, guys? And there were many, so think about this for a second. There were many. It gave the states too much power, which created a weak central government, and they couldn't tax the states. They also had their own money, and they didn't have a judicial branch, an executive branch. I mean, we could go on and on, right? All right, and here's a game if you guys are interested in playing this. It's pretty fun. All right, guys, so if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Otherwise, I will see you next time.